Welcome to season number 3 here in the Nevada Wolfpack Dynasty. We begin a new era as we will join the Pac-12 and we will get this really new look team started against a very tough opponent in Utah. A lot of storylines coming into this season, a lot of storylines coming into this game. We are actually predicted to finish second in the Pac-12 this year, which is very, very surprising. And that's possibly because we have one of the easier schedules this year. We do not play USC. We play UCLA, UNLV, and Boise State. But we do avoid probably the best team in the conference right now in USC. Here is what our schedule looks like here in season number 3. And as you can see, we open up against Utah, Stanford, and then a tough road game versus Michigan. Then we play the conference, and we will start Pac-12 conference play versus Colorado State. In the offseason, we had a big shocker. Both of our top 2 quarterbacks both transfer away. I completely thought that Enrique D'Amico would transfer going into the offseason. However, I could not predict that Chet Harper would also transfer away. To add on to that, our starting receivers transferred in Marshawn Brown and Nate Burleson II. And then a lot of our guys that we were hoping to kind of redshirt, groom for the future, be the future of this program, decided to transfer away as well. The only guy that ended up staying was Deontay Stacy, a junior linebacker. So we ended up finding out that Enrique D'Amico ends up going to Florida, where he is going to be actually second on the depth chart. And then Chet Harper transfers to Utah, the team we will play today. But we did find a lot of good players in the transfer portal. Ty Stitzer was one of them, an edge rusher out of Nebraska. And then we had to retool at quarterback as well. So the highest rated guy we did get in the transfer portal that was an offensive player, not named a receiver, was Niles Daniel. Then we decided to go up and double up at quarterback, getting Dillon Coucil. Both of those 2 guys have 2 different skill sets. So I think that this is going to be interesting to see who we do end up going forward with here in game number 1. Some key players coming into this season: David Lacouture. He ended up upgrading his speed in the offseason. He's a lot quicker, a lot more agile. And then David Paul actually added some speed. He is more of the power back in this room. We did end up replacing our wide receivers with a couple, but most notably Micah Tease, the slot receiver, and DeMar Tam, the 6'5" local kid out of Reno. This is going to be very exciting to see these two as a 1-2 punch in our receiving core. Because remember, going into this offseason, we ended up losing Cooper Flanagan, and now we look to replace them in the offense. We did decide to shore up our offensive line a little more. We decided to recruit Isaac Book, who was a transfer portal really good get. He is a sophomore, and he can pass protect as well as block for the run. Defensively, we have a pair of new pass rushers in Keon Burgess, the local 4-star kid, and also Ty Stitzer. Hopefully, they can get after the quarterback this year. Keon Burgess, though, very raw as a pass rusher, but has a lot of talent. I'm excited to see what he grows into, especially as a young player on this defense. Some guys that were on the roster last year will have to step up, though, like Larry Tuilolo. He was really the middle linebacker last year. He's going to be the sub linebacker this year also. And then Josiah Persinger. He's really going to need to stay healthy this year and see what he can do. If he can stay healthy, I think our secondary should be fine. We have the freshman All-American Larry Swain, and then we did add a late portal add in Brooklyn Cheek, a safety out of Wyoming. Doesn't have the greatest skill caps, but he will be the starting strong safety for our defense. So one thing to note going into this season is that we are going to be playing a lot of guys in and out of the rotation quite a bit. There is not going to be, a star of the offense, a star of the defense, at least to start out right now. We're going to have a rotation at quarterback, rotation at running back, rotation at linebacker, defensive line. There are going to just be a lot of guys in and out. I think right now we have more questions than answers, so we really need to play that card quite a bit. So it is going to be important to really see who can do what and what our strengths are. At least right now, I know DeMar Tam and Micah Tease are going to be probably the top two guys in the offense along with David Lacouture, but I don't know beyond that. Our offensive line looks a lot better this year. Now, at center, we started Gabriel Blanford. Now, the reason why we started him is because his pass blocking ratings, along with his run blocking ratings, are just a lot more well-rounded than his backups, even though they are higher overall. So we will see how that goes. On defense, we do have the newcomers and Ty Stitzer, but some new guys that you haven't really heard of yet. Dennis Briggs was a guy we recruited back in season 1. George Petty is a guy we recruited just last year. Brandon Godfrey is a guy that's been sitting behind our veteran linebackers. He's going to get an opportunity to play. So a lot of guys that have really been backups throughout this series so far are going to get an opportunity to play this year. I think most notably, though, on our defense, I think our biggest weakness right now, possibly cornerback. I'm not exactly sure how we can replace Sion Leolea. But I think that, at least our pass rush will be sending some blitzes, maybe help out the secondary just a little bit. So our scheme going into this year will be the Florida Atlantic Air Raid. And I'm going to be making a few changes here to these sliders. Now, last year, we played on the default Heisman sliders. Now, kind of what that is just default sliders. You don't really change anything. But now what I'm going to do is I'm going to change the sliders over to Kane's 21 sliders along with Matt 10's penalty sliders and see how that goes. I've heard good things about doing that, so I am going to try that out. And then in season, we are going to actually set auto progress on and put the penalty down to 1 so that our guys can actually progress during the season. That's something that may be a bug right now, but if you have it at 25 default, your players pretty much don't progress at all. So we will go up against Utah to open season number 3. They are on paper a lot better than we are. And by the way, have a Heisman Trophy candidate right now in Creed Whitmore. He is a senior receiver, 5'11", 178. It's going to be a tough ask to guard him, but he is a dynamic playmaker. Very fast, very agile, and he's going into his senior year. Coming off of last year, he only had 4 touchdowns, almost 1,000 yards, 3 touchdowns the year prior, but looking to really ascend into, greatness, being on the Heisman Trophy list. But really the story of this Utah team is they will have what was supposed to be our starting quarterback coming into this year, Chet Harper at quarterback. He is fully maxed out, and we knew this would be the case if he stuck around with us. He pretty much was maxed out when we had him. But this is what he is, 80 overall, very accurate quarterback, good arm strength. We know this is going to be tough to defend him. They also have Sesi Vaialahi, who comes over from Hawaii. Now, if you watch my offseason video, Vaialahi was interested in coming to play for Nevada, but we decided not to go after him, and instead he commits along with Chet Harper to Utah. So just a very interesting development going into this game. Now, they have some very good offensive weapons. This is going to be a tough game overall. They have a decent defense. It's not great, but I think if we do the right things at offense, but we just don't know how this offense is going to look. These are 2 new quarterbacks on the roster that we're going to have to get used to. How will that adjustment go? That is going to be the big question. So here we go. Back to receive the kick deep is number 2, Rick Gaskin, to receive the opening kickoff of season number 3. We are finally here as Gaskin receives it at the 1-yard line, and he will take it back to the 14-yard line, and out comes the offense, and Dillon Coucil will get the first snaps under center. The difference between Coucil and what we see in Niles is that Coucil has the stronger arm, not as accurate though, and he is a little bit shorter at 5'11". Here's a handoff this time to the true freshman Shaq Shaw at tailback. Now you're going to see all 3 tailbacks today, David Paul, Shaq Shaw, along with David Lacouture. Here is a carry and a loss of 2 yards by Lacouture. Shaq Shaw checks back into the game this time. Here is Council this time, rolling, throwing across the middle. He's going to find the transfer from West Virginia, Micah Tease, but it's going to be a 3 and out. So here is Chet Harper playing against his former team here on the road We'll see if the stadium is going to make it loud enough to rattle them in this game. So here we go. Here's a carry to Vaialahi, and he will be stopped behind the line. And there is Larry Tuilolo, who's going to need to play a big role this year. Harper now in the pistol formation. Hand off this to Vaialahi, and he will get up the middle for about a gain of 4. Amir Broussard is there first with the contact. That brings it to a 3rd and 6. Harper facing pressure, and he will get away. He will have the first down and a little bit more. Terrell Ebron was giving chase that time and could not run him down. Harper now under center this time. He didn't do a lot of this last year. He throws down the field. He's got his tight end, Drew Clemens, inside the 15 for a first down and a long gain here for the Utes. At the 11 now, here's Vaialahi, and he will get to the outside. Tackle at about the 1 yard line. And now it's goal to go. About a half yard to go. Handoff. This is going to be a touchdown. And Utah will score right away. And how about that drive by Utah? And now here comes our offense back out onto the field. Here is Council in the pocket now. He's going to take off. This is what he does well. He is very elusive. He has good change of direction, good carrying. He can really tote the rock. 1st and 10. Here's a quick throw across the middle. That one is a bit overthrown, looking for his tight end. 2nd and 10 now at the 31. They send pressure off the left nickel position, and that is going to be caught. And there is the freshman, DeMar Tam, for his first career catch for a first down. And now this drive continues. Here's a throw to the right side, looking for Micah Tease. No, it was Rick Gaskin, number 2 in the game. And that was a sure touchdown. It's 3rd and 10 now. Council throws deep into traffic. It's intercepted. Looking just to make a play happen downfield. It's intercepted by the defense. And they return it back to the 41-yard line as DeMar Tam is shaken up on that play. So hopefully he's all right going forward. But here is some pressure by the freshman All-American a year ago, Eric Sendejo. He gets home for the first time this season. And eventually brings it to a 3rd and very long here. Harper stepping up in the pocket, throws calmly. He finds his target. He gets a lot of that yardage back, but not quite enough. So here's Niles Daniel in the game now. He's going to come out here for the 3rd series for the offense. Daniel is more of the pocket passer, but he has a lot of accuracy, but not a lot of throw power to his game. And his first pass is incomplete. 3rd and 7 now. Daniel throws to the right side into traffic, and that maybe should have been intercepted. And that's a 3 and out. This Nevada offense starting out slow today. So here is Harper, this time handing it off to Vaialahi, and he will get about a gain of 2. That brings it to a 3rd and 8 here as his first quarter is winding down here. Vaialahi will pick up the first down and a little bit more. And they ran it on a 3rd and long. I did not expect that at all. So a little RPO action this time. Over to left side. This one is a catch by Nolan Locke. And now they get it to the 30-yard line. Vaialahi will get tackled by Keon Burgess, the freshman, but not before he gets the first down. We're into the second quarter now. Chet Harper changing the play at the line. Harper throws across the middle. It's a wide open Nolan Locke again. Inside the 5, and Larry Swain on the tackle. And it's goal to go here for the Utes. We send pressure, and Chet Harper sees it right away. It's a Nolan Locke touchdown for Utah. 2 good drives here by Utah so far. We find ourselves down by 2 scores. Here's Daniel on the field now. He will continue his quarterback play here in the game, and that is going to be a catch. David Lacouture, who's going to be looking to make more of an impact in the passing game this year. Here's a carry up the middle, him fighting forward. That's a gain of 8. I think one thing I did not see last year was toughness from David Lacouture. I want to see him break more tackles. Here's Rick Gaskin, who gets the bubble screen on that play. Gaskin is more of a one-trick pony. I want to get it to him in space. He's got a lot of speed. Here's Tam, though. He shows the quickness, getting to the inside, juking back out. picking up a gain of 10. Daniel this time running Micah Tees in motion, the transfer out of West Virginia. It's a screen pass to the right side. David Lacouture has a first down, and we are across the 50 for the first time. It's Niles Daniel now handing it off to Lacouture, trying to break to the outside, but the Utah defense is all over that play. 3rd and 13 now. Here is Daniel. He's going to think about it. He's going to throw late and gets hit on the throw, and it's incomplete. And we're going to go for it on a 4th and 13. This is kind of not 4th down territory, but just out of field goal range. But we will go for it. Here's a throw to left side. This is caught. It's DeMar Tam. It's a touchdown. How about that for your first career touchdown catch? A 4th and 15. And it was just on the edge of field goal range. We could have punted it away, pinned them inside the 10. We decided to go for it anyway, and Tam will score his first career touchdown catch. We're back in this game now, 14-7. Here's a throw to the sideline. This one is caught. The tight end Lincoln Cure for the first down. Chet Harper has been pretty calm in the pocket so far. He comes out empty on this next play now. 2nd and 9. Harper scrambles this time. You forget he can run the football. He's got decent wheels. And that brings it to a 3rd and 4. Pump faking to left side. Harper throws all the way across his body. And he does find his man, Creed Whitmore. But he can't get to the first down marker. So Niles Daniel has earned some playing time after that last throw. Here's a throw across the middle. And that one is tipped at the line. That brings it to a 3rd and 7. Here is Daniel. Pressure off of the nickel. And they get to Daniel. And it's going to fall into the ground. The one thing with Daniel you got to watch out for is he's got a very slow release. So you really got to throw the ball with anticipation. Here is Whitmore back to receive this punt, and he will take it down the right sideline. He eventually gets run down by Will Shoemaker, the punter. And now they have great field position to start this drive. 1st and 10 now. Here's Velahi, and there is a nice tackle by Tyler Armstead returning here as a junior. He will play mostly on the outside this year. Last year, he was in the nickel quite a bit. So that brings them to a 3rd and 10. We rush 4. Sendejo was right there, and they get rid of it. It's a spin move down the sideline. It's going to be a touchdown. And they are going to call roughing the passer on Eric Sendejo. And Dadrian Zipperer will score on that play. And it is now 21-7. Daniel now in the pocket, still in the game here. Finding that's going to be Whitehead for the first down. He is the route runner of this group. Daniel now facing more pressure. They know to send pressure at Daniel, but he gets rid of this one to Riley Langley, who's open on the sideline, and he will have the first down and a little bit more, gain of 14. 33 seconds to go in the first half. Daniel, he can run the football a little bit. He spins around and gets pushed out of bounds. And that one will stop the clock as well. 2nd and 6 now. Here is Daniel going to the end zone, and he's got Whitehead, but a little bit overthrown on that pass. So 3rd and 6 now. Here is Daniel throwing, and this one is intercepted. He was looking for Micah Tees, and instead it's an INT and a great play by the safety. And I think that's where that arm strength starts to come into play. Tried to layer that throw a little bit over the top of the cornerback and right in front of the safety. The safety just has enough time to break on it. And that's an interception, the second of the day here for our quarterbacks. And that's how we will go into halftime, down by 2 scores. And we have a lot of work to do here at half. So here at halftime, one thing I want to start doing is run the ball a little bit more. We're down by 2 scores, still plenty of time left, but we do have to come up with a stop here. So here we go in the 3rd quarter. Here is Chet Harper. He's going to hand off this time to Vailahi, and that one will be a tackle by Marquise Rahman, who will play quite a bit this year. He was a red shirt last year as a true freshman. Now he's in the game right now, number 8. Here's a 3rd and 4, a short throw, and that is going to be knocked away. There's Josiah Persinger making a play. So here we go running the football here with David Lacouture fighting forward. And that tough running is going to get him a lot more carries than he had last year. It's a first down. Now 2nd and 10 here for Daniel. Daniel throws to the right side. It's intercepted. That's 3 INTs by our quarterbacks today. Oh, my goodness. And we set Utah up with great field position. Chet Harper's got to be happy on the sideline by the way his defense is playing today, and they have showed up. Now, this route was interesting. You know, it was supposed to be kind of like a post-quarter, but instead, like, I don't know where that ball is even thrown. It was supposed to be thrown to the outside, thrown way to the inside. So 21-7 here. Here's Vailahi with the big hole up the middle, and he's got the first down and more, and he's still going. A big-time run. It's a touchdown. Utah pouring it on here on the road at Nevada. We are being humbled today. Look at how many players are around Vailahi right there. I counted 6 guys trying to take him down, and none of them did it. Daniel still in the game here. Here's a quick throw across the middle that is caught. It's going to be Riley Langley for the catch. Midway through the third quarter now, it's a 1st and 10. Here's Daniel throwing short. This is going to be Whitehead again, and he picks up maybe 4. I just want to get some momentum at this point because we need some confidence here. Here's 3rd and 6. And another incomplete pass. Pressure off the left edge, falls into the ground, and now it's 4th and 6 here. I think we got to go for this. Here's Daniel under pressure. Incomplete. Man, we are just getting crushed today, 28-7. And now they're going to threaten to score again. Here's Vailahi with the carry to the outside. And there is a good tackle that time by Godfrey. And Josiah Persinger was there first. It's now a 3rd and 12. We send 4. Here is Harper throwing a bomb to the end zone. This one is knocked away. Looking for Creed Whitmore, and he cannot hold on that time. And they will settle for the long field goal to make it 31-7. Dillon Council back in the game here at quarterback. He hands off to David Lacouture, and he will get a first down. Back to the ground game. Lacouture again. It's a gain of 6. This is something that we couldn't really do last year. Remember, we recruited Isaac Book, who's playing left guard right now. He's playing really good. Here is another RPO, this time over to Micah Tees. We want to get him more involved as this season goes on as well. Across the 50, Council throws deep. He's got a man. It's DeMar Tam who had a step, but the cornerback makes a great play right there. It's a 3rd and 10 again. Council rolling to the right. He's going to run this one, not going to take the risk downfield. And he picks up 3, bringing it to a 4th and 3. Utah sends pressure. Here's a quick throw. It's DeMar Tam, the freshman, throwing off a defender and getting tackled at about the 20. It's tough to tackle 6'5", but he is a tank. Here's a pitch play out to left side. It's David Lacouture, and I believe he lost a yard on that one, and he's going to be shaken up. He's going to have to come out of this game. Here's Ham in the game at tailback. It's a 3rd and 8. There's a nice throw to Whitehead, and it's a first down. Whitehead is that route runner, so I really trust him right when he makes his cuts. Draw play this time to Ham. Ham finding some space, and he will score. It's a touchdown, and it will get us down by 3 scores now, but it's something. But our defense has to come up with a stop here. But David Paul scores, and I am really looking forward to the season he's going to have as well. 31-13 as we're in the 4th quarter now. Here is Vailahi, and that is a nice tackle behind the line. It's Tui Lolo with the stop. That brings it to a 3rd and 10 now. Harper looks like he's calling out the mic right here. In the pocket throwing, and that one is caught, but a great play by Marquise Rahman, who has been all over the field today in his first game of action in his career. So here we go back on offense. There's Micah Tees. He picks up 4. Council now handing it off to David Lacouture, breaking a tackle and getting about a gain of 7, maybe 8 on that play. Council now in the pocket. He's going to look to throw this one deep, and he's looking for Tam. We haven't been able to connect on one of those yet, but it will happen. 6'5", can't really ignore that size. That brings it to a 4th and 10 now. Here's a throw across the middle. Intercepted. And Utah will take it the other way. And you got to say, this game is pretty much over at this point, down 31-13. And now Utah comes back out onto the field. Chet Harper is still in the game here for Utah. Vailahi gets the carry, and to the outside he goes, making a man miss. And he gets hit right before the first down 6. I thought he had it on that one. It's third and 1, maybe 3rd and inches, and the carry up the middle, and that will get the first down. So I think one thing that we underestimated coming into this game is how hard it would be adjusting with a 2-quarterback system. There are definitely throws that Niles Daniel can make that can't make, that Dillon Coucil can make. But the thing is, it's the accuracy. They got to be more accurate with the football. So we'll see, what happens going into next week. But here's David LaCouture getting a carry. And at that point, I do have to pull him. I do not want him to get hurt long term, especially in a blowout. Titus Saturday in at quarterback here for the Wolfpack. He could potentially be a long-term solution for us at quarterback. We'll see. But right there, that's DeMar Tam's 8th catch. He's over 100 yards in his debut. Here's a throw to left side, and there is pressure that time on Saturday. 2nd and 10 again. Here's a throw to the right side, and this one is caught. It's Micah Tees with a catch. Titus Saturday getting some playing time here. He's only got 85 throw power, but uses all of it right there. That is incomplete. Now, Saturday is interesting. He is a true pocket passer. He's only got 71 speed. He's got really good accuracy, though, but I think we're going to have to develop that speed a little bit. He'll throw downfield, though. That's incomplete. Now, that brings it to a 4th and 9. This is likely the game if we don't get it. Here is pressure, and going down is Saturday. And Utah just absolutely dominates today. An unfortunate ending to this game, though, because, I really thought that we were going to get off to a fast start this season. Here's Micah Tees late with under a minute to go. He will get the first down and a little bit more. But I do want to at least build some chemistry with these guys. So the reason why I have some of the starters hit in still, I want to figure out what they do well late in the game, and that's pretty much why. Saturday now in the shotgun, moving to the right side. He's going to throw this one. Intercepted. And that's going to do it. Every quarterback that was going to play today throws an interception. Just ridiculous. An embarrassing showing here in game number 1 to start season 3. Definitely not the start we were looking for. And Chet Harper gets revenge on his former team. The funny thing is he was going to be our starter coming into next year, but because he did not play last year, he ends up transferring. But this was just a blowout in every area. 5 turnovers by us. They dominated time of possession. We ran a lot more plays. It was just sad all around. Niles Daniel, he was decent today. However, I do, not like his throwing motion, and I'm not going to change it. It's not like I can go in and change it, but I'm not going to change it. I'm going to make it realistic. That is the throwing motion that he has. And his, I think kryptonite is his arm strength. Like, he cannot make all the throws that even Chet Harper last year could have made. And Dillon Coucil just has that stronger arm. I just have more confidence in it. I think we just need to settle on, who can do what well, how players run their routes. One thing I love about College Football 26 is every player does play differently, which is pretty cool. But we just need to get used to this roster, get used to what everybody does, and kind of play our game a little bit. And I think that, based off of what the pressure we got on Chet Harper today, we're probably going to have to send more pressures this year, more blitzes, and not just rush 4. Last year we got away with that. I just don't know if we'll be able to do that this year. But Chet Harper, 16 of 20, 220 yards, 2 touchdowns. He was amazing. But Creed Whitmore did not do anything at all. 5 receptions for 9 yards, which is crazy for a Heisman Trophy contender. So we move on to week number 2. Next episode, we will face Stanford. And for those that are wondering what my sliders are, this is what they kind of look like, but I'm going to adjust the QB accuracy back up to default. I was still missing throws on default last year, so I'm going to leave that on default and see how the gameplay goes. So hit subscribe, hit that like button. Let me know what you guys think of this team going into this season. What's your record prediction as well? Stay tuned. Let's get it. Let's go.